Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Panthers Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Certainly appreciate you for being here today. Up and down weekend, of course. Saturday was great with the Tigers win. Sunday, the Saints offense continues to struggle. They put up just 14 points in the ball game. Despite whoops. Oh, shit. Shucks. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. Okay. There we go. Okay, my apologies, y'all. Very sorry. I was still logged in to the 104.5 ESPN YouTube. I was making sure I wasn't streaming on 104.5 ESPN's YouTube, because then I would have messed up OTB, which I do not want to do. So, okay, good. Whew. I wonder if I put that on OTB stream. Oh, well, I'll figure it out later. Okay, all right. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Saints lose. Offense sputters again. Even in spite of the offense sputtering again, disappointing. You were still a couple of self-inflicted wounds away from winning that game. You lose 22-14, so you lost by 8. You gave up a scoop and score on Kamara's fumble. You missed a field goal, and you had a field goal blocked. So that's a 13-point swing. And the game you lost by 8. So that obviously hurts. So I don't know all the numbers about being 1-2 and your chance to make the playoffs. I know when you're 0-2 and then 0-3, it's like exponentially lower. I think there's maybe like 6 teams that have started 0-3 in the modern era of the playoffs and made the playoffs. So it's not very common. But the Saints are 1-2. Thankfully, the Packers did beat the Bucs yesterday, which is kind of what we're hoping for. But a Saints win in Carolina would have made them even in record, although Tampa would have held the tiebreaker for New Orleans. But you can figure that out later whenever you play Tampa again. But it's really disappointing. And you look at where the season goes from here. The Saints played Carolina, immediately flew to London. And so they'll spend the week in London and play Minnesota, where they're going to be an underdog and should be an underdog against Minnesota. And then you play Sunday, you fly home, and then you have to turn around and play again against Seattle. Now, at least you're at home against Seattle, but Seattle just lost at home to Atlanta yesterday. They're not very good. But still, I hate the short week. So you're going to play on Sunday. So you're going to fly to London. At least, you'll have jet lag but so does Minnesota anyway. You're going to have to figure out time zones and all that stuff, body clock, everything to get ready to play in London. And then you play Sunday, you'll fly home. Thankfully, you'll gain time coming home, but you'll still have the jet lag. And then really Monday's a total wash. Tuesday's the usual day off. So it's going to basically behave like a short week anyway. So you lose to Minnesota and Seattle, and you start 1-4, then you're done. Because the bulk of remember we talked about it, like the bulk of the schedule is in the middle. And that's coming. So they got to find a way to get a win in London against Minnesota. I don't know how, but they got to find a way to get it. Louis Salomon, Ryan Amanda Guidry, Deborah Coward, Kelly Gross, good morning. Bob Poole, Hunter Eilers, good morning. As a Jags fan in Jacksonville, this win over LA was amazing. Yeah, so Jags beat the Chargers yesterday. Beat them badly, and I didn't watch a play of that game, so I don't know how much Herbert's ribs contributed, but 38 points, bro. Chase Pellegrin, David Coslin, Brant Roban, good morning. Want to give Dalton a shot. Always takes 3 quarters to finally get going. Yeah, Brant, I mean, listen, that was my take a week ago. I respect Jameis. I respect very much the warrior mentality. He is very clearly not right. And listen, he threw 2 picks yesterday. One of them was off a deflected pass. One of them was, was basically just a deep ball heave. So, at the end of the game when you're trying to make something happen. So I don't look at either of those and say, oh, bad judgment, turnover, Jameis, yada yada. Like I don't look at that and think neither one of those are particularly his fault. But I pointed this out on the blocked field goal. You had 3rd and 3. Right before the end of the first half. You had 3rd and 3, and Alvin Kamara is sitting right in the middle of the field, wide open. I took a screenshot of it and tweeted it. Why not throw over the middle to Kamara, let him get the first down, call timeout, because you had 2, call timeout, and then take 3 shots into the end zone. You had something like 30 seconds left, 38 seconds. Then take 3 shots into the end zone. Instead, you throw a low percentage route to Jarvis, who was covered, on the fade. That's where I would say look at the decision making. But then there's accuracy issues. You lose Mike Thomas in the game. The touchdown he did throw to Callaway was an absolute gift. Callaway bailed him out. He's just very clearly not right. So it's why you have Andy Dalton. It's like I thought they should play him this week. I mean, it's definitely time, but we'll see. Hunter Eilers, Paul Losi, good morning. Matthew Gardner, Michael Richard, good morning. Should the Saints make a change? No, yeah, absolutely. Jeremy Sagely, morning, Matt. Caught you and Drew singing the fight song on Facebook this morning. Made me smile. Hey, man, the internet needs positive things on it, right? For those that missed it, Drew sang "Hey Fighting Tigers" on Morning Scone yesterday, so I clipped it and posted it. Bubba Tatum, at least the Bucks lost 2, yeah. Hey, Dad, good morning. Robbie White, good morning. A rebuilding LSU team opens laying more than a touchdown on the road in the SEC to a non-Vandy team. Bizarro world. Okay, hang on. I need to see the LSU Auburn line because somebody asked. We looked it up during Whiskey and Wine, and it was Auburn 1.5. Now that must have been like maybe the preseason line, or that's what it was at Action Network. So now I'm curious. She said LSU's laying more than a touchdown, huh? 7.5. LSU 7.5. Wow. That is bizarro world. You're right, bro. That is bizarro world. Let's see. CSN1, good morning. Jordan Coleman. One way, another. This LSU squad is performing really well. Besh has to be the guy returning punts, right? Yeah, I thought Jack did a really good job returning punts. Obviously he had the touchdown that was called back. He had one snafu where he fielded one where he should have just fair caught it and he got hit immediately. But I guess I don't fault him for trying to make a play, but at the same time, be smart. But yeah, Jackson be the guy. Wendell Norman, good morning, Matt. Tough to watch our Saints. It is, man. The good news is the defense is playing awesome. Defense kept you in it time and again, made plays. I even thought, I'll tell you this, I don't mind. I know I shouldn't have, but I did. I tell you all, I never bet the Saints. So I didn't bet the game beforehand, but I live bet. So when the Saints scored that first touchdown in the fourth quarter, I was like, oh, here we go again. When they made it 13-7. No, I'm sorry. When they made it 13-7 and then Laviska Shenault, 2 plays later, takes the 67, the screen pass, 67 yards. It was 19-7. So the Saints are down 12. I live bet the Saints on the money line. They were like plus 750. I was like, all right, here we go. Like, got them right where I want them. You know what I mean? There's 12 minutes to go. You'll have probably 2, maybe 3 more possessions. Defense is playing well. Carolina has lost a bunch of close games already this year. And yeah, that didn't work out so great. Oh, man. Rob Scott, tough watch yesterday. Mind-boggling looking at the talent the Saints are playing. Brian Penton, Hunter Broadhead, Eric Bertrand, Glenn Crowder, Spurge. Good morning, Brady Smith. Saints game was tough to watch. Trivia Carter, Brad David. It's going to be a long flight overseas after a brutal loss. Yeah. And then, the travel, I think, is often underestimated. Especially after you go play a really physical game, and guys usually come in on Monday to get treatment. Instead, the Saints are going to be on a plane flying to London. That's tough. It's tough on your body. Brett DeGros, Cody Brunet. I'm glad they kept the staff together for the culture, since that's the most important thing. Cody, I'm not going to say that the Saints are losing right now because of the staff. Defense has held up its end of the bargain. You know what I was thinking yesterday? How near the end, there's final handful of years of Drew Brees' career. Every year, there were fans who would tweet us, go on social media, call radio shows, whatever, just kind of begging for Drew Brees to retire. And I remember saying over and over again, man, you ride that thing till the wheels fall off, because it took the Saints 40 years to find a quarterback. 4 decades to find a quarterback. You finally have one, you ride that thing till the wheels fall off. And now you're kind of seeing why. Look at the challenges at that position. Most important position in team sports. If you don't have one, you can't win. Shane O'Mac, good morning. Let's see, trivia. I'm here, Matt. I know how to show up unlike the Saints. Bailey C. Offense is terrible. D is good. Tim Gotro, Samuel Smith. Yeah, Samuel, he said pass, run, 3rd and 6. So go check out. My guy Ross Jackson tweeted this. It was at one point in the game. I can't remember exactly what point in the game, but maybe it was late in the first half or early second half. He tweeted. Ross Jackson tweeted. Sorry, 1 second. I retweeted him. I should just go to my freaking... Blah, 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 blah. Where is it? Dang it. There it is. 6 times the Saints have thrown an incomplete pass on first down and run on 2nd and 10. So I learned this from Alan Risher years ago. That was like in the first, that it's something like 92% of the time if a team throws an incomplete pass on first down, they run it on 2nd down. It's something like 92% of the time. So I don't mind throwing on first down at all. I think it's a great change of pace. I think you keep the defense guessing, like all that. I'm not saying don't throw the ball on 3rd down or on first down. What I'm saying is got to complete those passes. You can't throw 6 incompletions on first down if you're going to throw on first down. Like, you've got to throw passes that are. Look, if you get a first down, you want to take a deep shot, okay, but otherwise you have to throw passes that are high percentage passes so you can move the chains. Let's see. Jesse Brown, morning Matt. Feel Dennis Allen's stubbornness to sit Jameis for the injury may cost us more games. You think Peyton would do the same? Well, yes, Jesse. And he has, quite honestly. In 2010, Drew Brees had the oblique injury. One of the years also he had a knee injury. Found out later he had a torn MCL that he played with. So yeah, we've seen Drew play injured before, but he was Drew Brees. Kenneth McCown, morning Matt. Will the storm affect LSU Saturday at Auburn? I don't know, Kenneth. Man, I sure hope so. I sure hope not. I hope the thing jogs away and goes away. But I honestly haven't been following it super closely. I guess sort of need to this week, huh? Brian Wynn, Brant Roban, Vol Nation on Cloud 9 today. They should be a great win. Biggest win there in a long time. Earl Lytle, Matt, this is a dumpster fire. Starts from the top. No accountability, not just the quarterback. O-line is garbage. -6 turnovers for the season. The biggest surprise, I think, is the fact that the Saints haven't gotten an interception yet. Through 3 games, no interceptions. It's bizarre. But the -6 also, look, you get 5 turnovers against Tampa. A couple of those were heaves. One of them yesterday was a heave late in the game. So, but you're still minus, to your point. You're still negative in the turnover ratio. All right, y'all, as always, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Need an orthopedist, go to Brock. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco is pinned there in the chat, so would love it if you would click that link and just fill out the contact form on the homepage. Take you 30 seconds, and we'll schedule a free roof inspection. Stephen Fry, morning, Matt. Why the hesitancy to put Dalton behind center? I don't know. Again, I know that's what everybody's asking. I don't know. I don't know why. They're at practice. They're making the decision they think is best for the team, but clearly your offense is not very good right now. I'm with you. I agree with all of you. I would have played Andy Dalton in this game. Wayne Dolis, morning, Matt. Do you feel there's a lack of leadership on the Saints? No. Look, I don't question the leadership of guys like Cam Jordan, on that team, Tyrann Mathieu, Jarvis Landry, Ramchick, Kamara. You got leaders on that team. You got a good locker room. Your offense is just sputtering, man. You got a quarterback playing with a broken back and can't move the football. Looks like landfall somewhere north of Tampa, 2 a.m. Thursday. Should be clear. The area by Saturday shouldn't impact that part of Alabama. Okay. Kerry Hughes, line moved from Auburn 1.5 to LSU -7.5. Kerry, I wonder if that 1.5 was just what the preseason line was or what I saw before. But that's what it was at Action Network. So, Tyler Alexander, good morning. Earl Lytle, Dalton not going to set the world on fire either. I'd agree with that, Earl. I don't think Dalton comes in as the savior, but he's a guy who's played a ton of football, who can manage your offense and can distribute it to your playmakers. I think you play him and let Jameis heal until he's ready to get back. Corey Davis, Jameis is flex seal for our horrible decision to keep Drew around after 2016. No, Corey, you can't say that it was a terrible decision to keep Drew Brees around because in 2018 you were the number 1 seed in the playoffs and you hosted the NFC Championship game. That's a bad take, dude. That's a really bad take. And they tried to draft Mahomes in 2017. So that's just a bad take, dude. You made the playoffs in 18, 19, and 20. In 17, 18, 19, 20. So, nah, man, I flatly disagree with you, dude. That's a bad take. You could have addressed the position without, running Brees in 2016. And it's especially an awful take since you were the number 1 seed in 2018. Jerry Fontenot, Glenn Crowder's talk about two teams going in different directions. Tigers up, Saints head down. Glenn Thomas, LSU football building some important depth at certain positions. Defense looking like top 5 in the SEC. Yeah, man, that, I remember when we got to watch practice and they came out of fall camp, I told you if there was one big takeaway, or if I had two takeaways, it was that I thought Jaden Daniels was going to be the starter, and that the defense was better than I expected. And they just keep improving more and more, which is great to see. Let's see. Let's do about 5 more minutes. Chase Pellegrin, Saints offense got all them teeth, no toothbrush. Steve Colson, NFL Pro Bowl is no more. Is the Pro Bowl? Did they cancel the Pro Bowl? Really? NFL replaced Pro Bowl with Pro Bowl games. Okay. Flag football and skills competition. Okay. I'm good with it. They got to put something on TV though. That's the thing about the Pro Bowl is as much as the game sucked, it's still, you get 4 or 5 million viewers, which that ain't easy to do. So. Let's see, Jerry Fontenot, don't know what is wrong with Lutz. Hope he gets together. That's true. Henry Gordon Bennett, New Mexico, 7 pass attempts, 4 times sacked. Yeah, they don't throw the football, Henry. They run sort of a weird version of the option out of the pistol. So they don't throw the football. We're missing safety play. I don't y'all. If you're blaming the Saints defense, your criticism is misplaced here. The Saints defense has been exceptional, with the one exception of the running game against the Falcons. Your defense shut out the Bucs for 3 quarters, and then yesterday your defense basically allowed 1 catch and run to Laviska Shenault. That's it. The other touchdown Carolina got was a scoop and score after Kamara fumbled. So if you're blaming the defense, man, that's just misplaced anger or frustration. It ain't on the Saints defense. Saints defense in the modern NFL where nobody plays defense, they've been plenty good enough to win. Your offense is brutal. Jay Reach, Bailey C. Jared Chasson, is the season over? No. You're at 1-2. If you lose your next 2, it is. You go to London, you lose, fall to 1-3, come back on a short week and play Seattle, lose, fall 1-4. Then it is, of course, because you look at what you have ahead. That's kind of what we talked about, was that they had to get through that first stretch, with a winning record. I thought they had to be at least 3-2 through their first 5, which means you have to win the next 2, because look at what you have coming up. You're home against the Bengals. You're at the Cardinals. That's Thursday Night Football. So you're on a short week. You play Cincinnati, then short week at Arizona. I know Arizona's not great, but it's Thursday. Traveling on Thursday Night Football sucks. Then you're home against the Raiders, home against the Ravens. You go to Pittsburgh, which is always going to be tough. Then you're home against the Rams. Then you got to go to Santa Clara to play the 49ers. Then you're at Tampa. So you go coast to coast. You go at San Francisco, then at Tampa. Then you have a manageable stretch to finish. You're home against the Falcons. You're at Cleveland, but they're going to get Deshaun back. Then you're at Philly, which Philly looks really good. And then you're home against Carolina. But you can win, your stretch there. But you had to start off strong to give yourself a shot on that stretch. And this ain't it, man. They needed to win that game in Carolina yesterday. Chris Nelson, Mortimer really could have used a rant stream after the debacle. In your opinion, what's the problem with the offense? Carmichael, O-line, Winston, all the above. It's hard for me to blame Carmichael entirely because there have been plays that are there that they just haven't executed. probably some of all, combination of all of the above. I know that's not what you want to hear, but hang on one second, Just backpack's beeping. Hang on one second. All right, y'all. Let's see. I'm just about done here. My apologies. Wrap up here at 8. So sorry if I missed you. Man, there's a whole bunch. Sorry, I'm missing a bunch of your comments. I should have gone a little faster. My apologies, y'all. I appreciate everybody for being here. Jared DeLucky, what's good? Michael Thacker. Is Jalen a good NFL comp to Daniels? Jalen Hurts. I think Daniels has a better arm. He's also bigger. Taller. Hurts kind of looks more like a running back. Right, where are we? Any more? All right, y'all. Excited to see Olave develop. Yeah, some of y'all are pointing out Traquan as well. Man, look, I know a lot of y'all are just messing with me because as much as I crap on Traquan all the time. But here's the point I'll make. When you are in year 6, what's he, year 5 or year 6? And people have to celebrate garbage time yards in a road divisional loss where your offense was largely atrocious. Yeah, that kind of proves the point, doesn't it? All right. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll get LSU Daily recorded. I got to get Drew to school. Got a 9 a.m. meeting. I'll get LSU Daily recorded around 9:30. So it'll be up around 10 o'clock this morning. So my apologies for not having it ready to roll today. So LSU Daily, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the pod. However you get your podcast, just search LSU Daily. Subscribe. I'd appreciate it greatly. And Brian Kelly press conference today, AFR 3. A busy day, and appreciate y'all for being here. All right, y'all have a great day. We'll see you. Peace.